The celebration has begun for Rory McIlroy. This week marked his 17th career start at the Masters. It's the second most ever by a first-time winner, trailing only Sergio Garcia, who did it in his 19th. Appropriately, both Rory and Sergio taking down Justin Rose in a playoff. Take you inside Butler Cabin for the moment.
And we welcome the world to Butler Cabin here at Augusta National with Chairman Fred Ridley, and this 89th edition will go down as one of the greats of all time. I think the entire world is spent after watching this afternoon of golf, Fred.
I couldn't agree more, Jim. Our patrons here at Augusta National around the world were treated to an unforgettable Masters, as exciting as we've had in our history.
We're so pleased to be joined by the 2024 winner, Scottie Scheffler. Made another nice run this year, Scottie, and Rory McIlroy, your new champion.
Rory, your play today was amazing. I know you've been in contention often here over the years, and now you're the Masters champion. How does that feel?
It feels incredible. You know, this is my 17th time here, and I started to wonder if it would ever be my time. And I think, you know, the last 10 years coming here with the burden of the Grand Slam on my shoulders and trying to achieve that. Yeah, you know, I'm sort of wondering what we're all going to talk about going into next year's Masters. But I'm just absolutely honoured and thrilled, and just so proud to be able to call myself a Masters champion.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Rory, what you went through today, the ups and the downs. I mean, you had to, you said just a moment ago, you wondered if you ever would win the green jacket. Did you have points in this round where you had to remind yourself you were still right there after a few slip-ups?
Yeah. When I hit the wedge shot into the creek on 13, you know, that was, you know, I felt like I did a really good job of bouncing back from that. And the, you know, the double bogey at the first as well. But I was really nervous going out, and it was almost as if the double bogey at the first calmed my nerves a little bit and sort of got me into it in a funny way. And I just think all week how I responded to setbacks. I think that's what I'll take from this week, and you know, couldn't be more proud of myself for that, and being able to bounce back when I needed to.
And then in the playoff, Rosie hit a beautiful second shot, and then you bettered it right behind him. Tell us about how you won it.
Yeah, I had, I think I had 2 yards less in the playoff than I did in regulation. It was a little bit of a flatter lie as well, so I knew I had a perfect, you know, a 3/4 gap wedge was going to land into the slope and come back. So it was a good number. I just needed to make a good committed swing, and you know, I made one at the right time.
Got to ask you about the reaction.
Yeah.
Because it was as authentic as anything anyone's ever seen.
Yeah.
Trevor Immelman said on our broadcast here in the States that was 11 years in the making, and we really did see the weight that you had been carrying all that time. Yeah. And we talked about the journey to be here, what Jerry and Rose did for their boy, for him to be this career Grand Slam winner. What was that moment like, and what is it right now, just seconds away from having that green jacket?
Yeah, I think I would say it was 14 years in the making, from, you know, going out with the 4-shot lead in 2011, you know, feeling like I could have got it done there. And yeah, there was a lot of pent-up emotion that just came out on that 18th green. And but, you know, I think, you know, a moment like that makes all the years and all the close calls worth it. And I want to say hello to my mum and dad. They're back home in Northern Ireland.
They made a lot of sacrifices for you.
They did, and I can't wait to see them next week. I just can't wait to celebrate this with them. Yeah.
You made a lot of people happy here today, Rory.
Thank you.
Showing a lot of what it takes to be a champion. It's time for your green jacket. Fred?
Thanks, Jim. Scottie, you continue to be a great champion, and we look forward to watching you here at Augusta National and wear the green jacket for many years to come. We would be honored if you would now place the green jacket on our 2025 champion, Rory McIlroy.
Thanks, Scottie. Oh, we got it. There we go.
Congratulations, Rory.
Thanks, Brett. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pure emotion from Rory McIlroy in a career-defining moment as he completes the career Grand Slam some 11 years removed from his last major title. Exercising those demons and finding himself atop the FedEx Cup standings. 3 wins on the season for McIlroy, no one else with 2. He is a champion confirmed by the game's greatest garment. As the weight of that jacket placed on Rory McIlroy's shoulders, the weight of the world removed. Your winner at the Masters. We now have the privilege of taking you inside Butler Cabin, where 2008 Masters champion and our lead analyst of golf on CBS, Trevor Immelman, joins us. Trevor, the word resilience bounced around quite often this week and throughout that final 5 hours of this tournament. What sort of resilience did you see out of Rory McIlroy on Sunday?
Yeah, it sure did bounce around a lot. In fact, he brought it up earlier this week after Friday's round because of the stumbles that he had on Thursday. And he wanted to make sure that the narratives of the double bogeys at 15 and 17 on Thursday weren't going to take root. And he started to bounce back. But today, again, all of a sudden, adversity struck right from that first hole. And he had to really dig deeper than he's ever gone before. And what a remarkable finish. Hats off, obviously, to Justin Rose for pushing him right to the end. But this sure was something special. History here from McIlroy at Augusta National. With this win, he earns admission to the game's most elite club at the game's most elite club. And you look at those names of Sarazen, Hogan, Player, Nicklaus, Woods, and now McIlroy. To say those in order, it certainly makes you feel something. How does this situate historically for Rory? Well, he goes on to the most elite list in our sport. And we've had to wait so long since Tiger Woods accomplished that. And everybody's been wondering for so many years, McIlroy has the talent, but can he win the Masters? And now on his 11th attempt trying to complete the Grand Slam, he finally gets it done. And you could see exactly what it meant to him after he holed that short putt in the playoff to finally get his hands on a green jacket. Our first in a quarter century, our second since 1966. Trevor, a fantastic job, as always, from our team with Golf on CBS and what you put forth this weekend. And I'm interested in your experience as a member of that club, now grown to 57, with McIlroy on his way into the room. What will it mean to welcome him in? Well, look, we've all known for so long that he has the ability to do it. He's come so close here so many times. Everybody has, over the last few years, been holding their breath at the start of the week, seeing if he can finally get it done. And now we get to welcome him with open arms. And he sure is a worthy champion. Trevor, I do imagine you have a hand to go shake. So with that, I say thank you. Another fantastic week, my friend. Just an incredible week. Thanks, Moose. Trevor Immelman joining us from Butler Cabin, where just moments ago, Rory McIlroy minted as a Masters champion, accomplishing the career Grand Slam. In terms of major champions, since the turn of the millennium, McIlroy now on equal footing with Brooks Koepka, his 2 PGAs, his 2 U.S. Opens. McIlroy now checking all 4 boxes. A champion as grand as they come. There are certain Sundays we will never forget. Rory McIlroy with a chance to complete the career Grand Slam in regulation. 5 feet for immortality. The putter plaguing him throughout the day. Wedges as well. This one slides by on the left side, and we head to extra frames. A playoff comprised of Justin Rose and Rory McIlroy, teammates on the European Ryder Cup team. McIlroy having to recollect after that failure at the last. Would it be jubilation when all said and done? Both drives found the fairway at 18 in the playoff. Justin Rose looking like he may have flagged one here. The first hop, dangerously close. Doesn't get the traditional roll off the backstop. It would be a putt from there for Rosie. As for Rory, the same wedge he had in regulation. 125, only this time, no bunker. There's your backstop. Good and getting better. McIlroy inside 5 feet.
Could Rose apply the pressure to his teammate and now foil? Made a big one in regulation, a birdie at the last. This for the birdie in the playoff. It'd be par instead for Rose. The score says it all. For the career Grand Slam, McIlroy, a Masters champion. Jubilation for Rory McIlroy at long last. He touches them all. A grand champion as emotion pours out. McIlroy in an extra hole. The winner of the 89th playing of the Masters. The circuitous route here on Sunday, but McIlroy, a champion at last. Post Rounders presented by the new QI35 drivers from TaylorMade. Doug Bell, Greg DuCharme. We did go through that emotional roller coaster there together over the final hour of play. It's Rory McIlroy in a playoff with a beautiful wedge. Doug, I don't know how to put into words the final 4 hours of what we saw here Sunday at the Masters. Thankfully, that's your job. What are you feeling right now?
Well, it was the wildest 2 hours I can ever remember in a major championship, in a Masters. I mean, this will go down in history with Nicklaus 86, Tiger 97. We will never, ever forget what we witnessed today. And to think Rory overcame 4 double bogeys for the week. Nobody's ever done that. And dropped a shot in the 72nd hole, then comes out in the playoff to win. And then we see usually very stoic, very calculated Rory McIlroy, and the emotions are just pouring out. So it's visually for all of us to see what it meant for this man to not only win the Grand Slam, it was history, right? But he's the first man from Ireland to ever don the green jacket, and the hugs and the kisses continue. I mean, it's emotional. I'm getting goosebumps now just watching the video and describing it, Joe. Something we'll never, ever forget. This will go down in history as one of the all-time incredible finishes for not just the good, but all the crazy shots that we saw all day long.
It will be worth a rewatch, no doubt. All the emotions that it made us feel, the patrons willing him on, Greg, for the first time in the last quarter century. A Grand Slam completed, just the second time since '66. The history in this moment, it's dripping with it. What do you walk away feeling?
Well, this is so unique and so memorable, to Doug's point. I mean, but there's something about this Masters that's different than 1986. That's different than 1997 when Tiger Woods won. And that's the possibility, or what happens, what it means if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't go the way that the history books are currently written. And if Jack doesn't win in 1986, well, he's still a 5-time Masters champion. And if Tiger doesn't win in 97, who knows what happens, but he probably wins a lot more, and we probably still see a lot of what we saw through Tiger's career. If Rory McIlroy doesn't win this 2025 Masters, there's a very good chance he never does. And there's a very good chance he never recovers. And now that he's somehow gotten through this day, the longest day in golf, I think it's longer than any U.S. Open qualifier I've ever seen, even though it was just 19 holes today. You know, now Rory McIlroy enters a place that few have ever entered in the history of the game. And I think Doug is right on the money. We will never forget this Masters.
The heartbreak that he felt in 11, in 18, at LACC, at Pinehurst, at the Old Course. These innumerable heartbreaks, the scar tissue that he acquired here over this last 11 years between major championship victories, Greg, it only amplifies this moment for Rory McIlroy. We've seen him get up off the mat before, from round to round, from tournament to tournament, major to major. But the number of times he had to get off the mat in this round is striking. What did you make of the day at large?
Well, I would say it's very clear to me that through all of those heartaches that you just mentioned, Joe, Rory McIlroy came into this week with the word resilience on his mind. And he was resilient after Thursday. And it was clear to me that's what he was thinking heading into Friday's second round when he shot 66, and then Saturday's 66 as well. And coming out into this round, this was like a microcosm of the last 11 years of his career, quite frankly. Brilliant moments and FedEx Cups and Players Championships championships and everything you could ever ask for except major championships. And in all of these iterations, whether the putts weren't falling at St. Andrews, a mistake at 14 at LACC. Last year at Pinehurst, the putts do fall. He avoids the mistakes until number 16. And then mistakes at 16 and 18 cost him the chance. He made plenty of mistakes this week that should have and very well could have cost him the chance. But fortunately, he hit enough heroic shots to answer the bell.
One final wedge and one final short putt, exercising all the demons throughout the day and throughout these last 11 years. Doug, we talked about it a day ago, the career Grand Slam, only the 6th all time, but he joins only Gene Sarazen some 90 years ago as players to complete it there at Augusta National. This moment, how does it situate into how we'll remember Rory McIlroy? His spot in golf history already cemented, but this moment elevates.
Oh, there's no question about it. In the modern era, we've been waiting ever since Tiger accomplished this back in 2000. Would anybody ever do it again? And we had to wait a long time, especially on the final 9 holes, but he's finally done it. And in the modern era, when you think about it, it really is Gary, Jack, Tiger, and now Rory, with all due respect to the great Ben Hogan, who played the Open Championship just once, won at Carnoustie, came back, got the ticker tape parade, but nobody was talking Grand Slam at the time. And of course, Gene Sarazen won in 1935 at the Masters. Nobody had any mention of the Grand Slam, at least considering the 4 professional championships thus. So now Rory in the modern era, he's right up there with the greats, right? 29 victories in his career. He's not done yet. Now has 5 major championships. And again, it is important, and it is history that he's won the Grand Slam. But I think most importantly, they're celebrating in Ireland right now. Listen, Padraig came close. Shane Lowry has had a few opportunities, but no Irishman has ever donned the green jacket. How apropos is that? And so now Rory will be forever at the Champions Dinner starting next year. Again, we just need to emphasize the raw emotion that we've never seen come out of Rory McIlroy. This was meaningful, more than all the other wins, more than the Grand Slam. Donning the green jacket is the one that he wanted, and we saw it visually right there on TV. I'll forever, ever remember those pictures. It's left an indelible mark in my mind.
It's green for the Irish once again, and for the first time here at Augusta National, Rory McIlroy, your winner of the 89th playing of the Masters. Quite a route we took there, gentlemen, but it was a pleasure going with you.